Welcome to the MacroHabits podcast. I am your host, Hannah. In today's episode, I'm going to be diving into peptides. This has been a frequently asked question on my Instagram. I've been vocal about my peptide journey. I just finished a stack and I'm starting a new one. So I just want to answer all of your guys' questions and give you a general rundown of peptides, why I'm taking the ones I'm taking, and hopefully be able to educate you on which ones would be beneficial for you based on your goals, starting point, and just kind of give you a baseline knowledge of peptides from my experience. Before we get into that, I'm going to go over my high and low of the week. I have a few little mini highs. First high is my best friend Riley just got engaged this last weekend. I am so excited for her. She is the best. I met her in college, actually at Utah State, and coincidentally, her and her boyfriend moved to the same city that I'm in now. So we've been in the same place for the last year and a half, and it's just been amazing. I'm so excited for her. I did an engagement dinner for her last night at Bandera. If you are in the Newport Beach area, you need to go to Bandera. The ribs, the steak, the dip duo, it's all so good. So that was fun to celebrate her. Also, I have a good engagement gift idea. When she got engaged, I was thinking, okay, I need to get her an engagement gift. And I was racking my brain for what she would like. And I normally go to RG by the Sea if I have any custom jewelry I want made, like all of my Hannah necklaces, and just like I have another necklace with another saying on it that's from RG, and I really like it. They have like these thick block letters that are really cute, but they don't have numbers. And I wanted to get her a necklace with 11-1 because she got engaged on November 1st. So I ordered one off Etsy. I'm so excited to give that to her. But that was a really fun high this week. And the dinner last night was so fun. It was so fun to celebrate her. My next high is Halloween is over and the holiday Christmas season is here. I am someone that definitely celebrates the Christmas cheer a little early. I love Christmas. I love Thanksgiving too, but I love Christmas music. I just love the traditions that are in this holiday season. I'm just not a Halloween person in general. I don't like scary things. Even growing up, my mom was really strict about we weren't allowed to wear masks on Halloween. She didn't allow scary movies in the house, which might seem extreme to some, but now that I'm an adult, I totally see where she's coming from. And I hate scary movies and I wouldn't allow them in my home either. Like, I just think it brings bad energy. I think the spirit of Halloween is fun sometimes. Like, I mean, I love pumpkin patches and all of the Halloween treats and like the fall aesthetic, but I don't necessarily like Halloween. So I'm kind of happy it's over, to be honest. And I'm excited to be in the Thanksgiving Christmas season. I will say I have a really funny Halloween story from college that I'm going to share on today's episode. It's kind of a tangent, but when I was in college, I went to Utah State, like I said, and then I went to UVU after Utah State. I was only at Utah State for 2 years. Then I transferred to Utah Valley University, which is in Provo. If you're familiar with Utah, you probably know what I'm talking about. And when I was at UVU, I had an amazing college experience in general. But during the Halloween season of college, obviously you're going out, there's like a million Halloween parties. It's so much fun. And in Utah, I don't know if this is like a hot take, but there are so many haunted houses. Like, that was something in Utah that was every year there were like 4 different haunted houses that everyone would want to go to. And it was always like a really good group date activity. Obviously, it's fun to cozy up next to the cute boy who asked you on a date. I understand how that is exciting, and it makes an easy like pathway to flirt with someone and cuddle up, kind of like I just said. But I absolutely hate haunted houses. I hate anything scary. I am like a little bitch when it comes to scary things. I can't even remember the last time I watched a scary movie. Like, it's just a no for me. And during this year of college, I think I was like a sophomore or a junior at this point, so definitely an adult, but I was very apprehensive to go to this haunted house date that I was asked to go on. It was a group date, but the guy was really hot. I was like, you know what? This is going to be good for me. I'm going to put on my big girl pants and I am going to face my fear and go to, I think it was like the haunted forest or something. But I feel like haunted houses in Utah are gnarly. Like Utah does haunted houses right in the terms of they are very scary. There's a lot of different houses. It's kind of eerie. Like, I don't know. I live in Orange County now, obviously, and I haven't heard of any haunted houses in this area. Maybe it's because I'm just kind of removed from the Halloween, festivities of it all. But in Utah, the haunted houses are like around every corner. So anyway, I'm getting ready for this date. It's a group date too. So my friends are on it. It's going to be fun. And I'm a game plan person. Okay. So I'm like, I need a game plan for when I'm in the haunted house so that I don't get absolutely scared out of my mind. I wanted to obviously have like scary moments, but I didn't want to be overly scared and then have that come off as like pick me, that I'm like trying to be too scared. You know what I'm saying? But like genuinely, I fear for my life in those haunted houses and in anything scary. It's not my journey. But my game plan was I was going to like put my face in the back of this guy's shirt and like hold on to his shoulders and just close my eyes and have him guide me through the haunted house. Cause like you're in a line when you go into a haunted house and it's kind of like single file. So that was my game plan. And I felt good with that going into this date night. And so we get to the haunted house. It's really scary. Obviously there's like the people with the chainsaws and the clowns and like everyone kind of lurking around and getting by your neck. And I just am like, oh, what is the point of this? Like the whole time I'm just like, did we just pay X amount of dollars to go somewhere where the energy is weird and people are scaring like the shit out of us, Anyway, I am leaning into the fact that I'm cuddling up with this hot guy. It's fun. That's what I'm telling myself. And we're gearing up to go into the first haunted house. And I am like in my head, like, okay, Hannah, execute the game plan, grab onto his shoulders, like bury into his back and just close your eyes. And that's exactly what I did. And, we're going through the haunted house. My plan is being executed perfectly. I'm not seeing anything. My eyes are closed. I'm definitely feeling like the weird creatures and people like lurking, like I said, around my neck and around you. Like you can feel the aura of somebody next to you, which is really scary. And also I feel like the people target you if you act more scared. So I was keeping that in mind too. I wasn't trying to act overly scared, even though my face was buried in this guy's shirt and I was like trembling and squeezing his shoulders so tight. When we got halfway through the haunted house, I realized I was like, I'm kind of sniffling a lot. Like I kind of had this moment of like, I'm sniffling a lot. I hope I'm not like snotting on the back of this guy's shirt. And then we get towards the end of the haunted house and I haven't looked up one time. Like my plan has been executed. And as we approach the end of the haunted house, I feel the cool October breeze come through. I lift my head up. There is blood everywhere. All over the back of this guy's t-shirt. There's blood all over my face. It's all down my shirt. I got a gushing bloody nose from pushing my face so hard into the back of his shirt and back. So that was very ironic because we were at a haunted house and now I had created my own murder scene on my face in the back of this guy's shirt. He was really nice about it. And like, I was trying to laugh it off and make a joke, but it was a little bit traumatizing. We ended up leaving. Obviously there's blood all over me and my nose is still gushing. There's no tissues around. Like I'm just lifting my head up, holding and pinching the top of my nose. The blood is running into the back of my throat. Like, I'm sorry for getting so like granular in this moment, but I'm trying to really paint the picture for you guys of how awful this was. And as we're walking to the car, it starts pouring rain. I'm now a drenched, wet rat with a bloody nose. And we get into the car. It ended up being like a funny story, but maybe that's a reason too as to why I don't love Halloween is because of that story. I actually have a lot of traumatizing like bloody nose stories on dates with different guys. Maybe I'll tell another one on the next episode. But yeah, I guess I had an issue with bloody noses in my younger years. I've grown out of it. This is not a flex, just a fact. But yeah, I used to get really bad bloody noses. Almost had to get my nose cauterized in high school. Once again, don't know why I'm telling you all of these, intimate details of my health, but I've grown out of it. Haven't gotten a bloody nose in a long time. And anyway, I just had to tell that story because of the Halloween season. But I'm glad it's over and I'm so excited for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I am a tradition gal. I love traditions. And my mom did such a good job growing up of like, she had the best we had the best traditions growing up, and she always executed them perfectly, and it was just so fun and made my childhood so fun, and I still like relish in those traditions when I'm with my family. So I'm really excited for this season. And another mini high is the Starbucks drinks launched today, the holiday ones. I just posted a carousel on my Instagram of like 7 different macro-friendly variations of different holiday drinks. My favorite one is the caramel brulee. I love the Starbucks caramel brulee syrup. I'm not really a syrup gal in my coffee. Every once in a while, I'll dabble with a sugar-free vanilla if it's really good at a certain coffee shop. But in general, I'm pretty routine with just an iced latte or a cold brew with a few stevia and a splash of half and half cinnamon powder. That's kind of like my go-to order. But the caramel brulee at Starbucks is so good. And my order, the macro-friendly one, is a venti cold brew, 1.5 pumps of caramel brulee, 2 stevia, a splash of half and half. Mix it all up. It is so good. The macros are, it's 150 calories, it's 7 fat, 20 grams of carbs, and 2 protein. So that's my go-to one. But like I said, I have a ton on my Instagram if you want to go check those out, if you are someone that loves a fun holiday coffee. Okay, moving into my low. I want to get my tonsils out. Okay, I don't know if anyone has gotten their tonsils out in their adult years, but mine are causing me quite a lot of problems. And to be honest, they've caused me problems my entire life. I don't know why. Once again, I'm exposing my, health issues with you guys, but I have had a chronic sore throat for the past 3 weeks. I feel like it's a cold I can't shake. It like will go away as the day goes on, but every morning I wake up with a sore throat and I'm wondering, is it this allergies? Like, do I have just like a bad, weird cold that's manifesting in my throat? I don't know what's happening. But I got strep throat a ton as a kid. Like I had chronic bloody noses and strep throat all the time. Fun for me. Haven't had strep throat in a long time. Grew out of that one too. But I'm just kind of getting the point across that I have struggled with like always having a sore throat. Or I feel like everyone has an area of their body, like when they're stressed, they start to get sick, that flares up first. And for me, it's my throat. And I'm just over it. I'm over having a sore throat and I want to get my tonsils out. But I've heard it's pretty gnarly if you're an adult or in your adult years. And, 29, not getting any younger, 30 next month. So I don't know, like, do I get them out? Like, if you've gotten your tonsils out, was it worth it? I've done a little bit of research and people say that it's about a 2-week recovery. It's pretty uncomfortable, like you're pretty miserable, which obviously isn't attractive to me, but I kind of just want to get them out. Like my tonsils are giving me the ick. I want them out of my body. I'm annoyed with them. So if you've gotten your tonsils out in your adult years, please DM me your experience and let me know if it's worth it. Is it not worth it? My little brother also has issues with his tonsils, not to expose his health issues, but that's what I'm doing. He doesn't listen to this anyway. Maybe he'll listen to this episode. I don't know. But misery loves company, so maybe he'd want to get them out with me. Like maybe me and him can go home together and do the surgery at the same time. That way we're recovering together and my mom can take care of us. That's kind of like the game plan in my head, but we will see. Stay tuned. But please let me know if you've gotten them out and if it was worth it. Okay, let's move into peptides, the bread and butter of this episode. I'm going to break it down for you guys. I have absolutely had the most amazing experience with peptides. And I first want to start out with what are peptides. So peptides are actually made from the body. Your body makes peptides from protein you eat. So I'm going to break this down in a really simplistic way. You eat protein, so meat, eggs, dairy. Your body then breaks that down into amino acids, and then your cells link those amino acids together into peptides. Those peptides become messengers that help run your body in the realm of hormones, metabolic health, healing and recovery, immunity, digestion, gut health, skin repair, etc. So peptides are very important, and they're really incredible. And it's amazing that they're naturally occurring in your body. And then you can obviously take an injectable peptide to kind of amplify that. They aren't steroids or anything in that category. Steroids are synthetic versions of testosterone, and that's not what peptides are. GLP-1s are also peptides. That's a question I got a lot too. Like, is semaglutide a peptide? Is tirzepatide a peptide? And yes, those are peptides. I have never taken a GLP-1 and I don't plan on taking one. Obviously, if I took one, I would be transparent with you guys, but I have never taken one. That was a question I got too. I am going to do a little mini Q&A too at the end of this episode from frequently asked questions I've been getting about peptides. I did a little Dropbox on my Instagram yesterday about any questions you had about peptides. So I did gather like 6 or 7 of those, and I'll go through those at the end of this episode. Let's start out with the first peptide I started on, which was CJC 1295 plus ipamorelin. I hope I said ipamorelin correctly. But I started out with 5 units for the first 6 weeks. I did 5 units, 5 days on, 2 days off, and then I moved up to 10 units, 5 days on, 2 days off for the last 6 weeks. And the CJC plus the ipamorelin helps improve your quality of sleep. It helps boost natural growth hormone pulses, helps mobilize stored fat, maintain and build lean muscle. It enhances protein synthesis, supports collagen production, improves stamina, reduces brain fog, reduces inflammation. It can improve insulin sensitivity. So it's really an amazing kind of all-around peptide. And I cycled off of this one. So I did it for 12 weeks. So I feel like I have a really good, kind of answer of what it did for me and my body. And the benefits that I noticed was better sleep for sure. My sleep definitely improved. I wouldn't say I'm like the worst sleeper, but I can kind of be an anxious sleeper, and it can be hard for me sometimes to stay asleep once I fall asleep. And I have noticed an improvement in my sleep. I've also noticed a lot more vascularity in my upper body. I know that wasn't like a goal of mine for my veins to like pop out more, but I do like the look of it, especially when I'm lifting. Like I definitely get more of a pump on, especially when I'm doing upper body and when I'm doing glutes. Like I feel like I can notice a difference in the size of my glutes after I lift, and then especially in my upper body. Like when I'm doing a bicep curl, there's like a little vein that pops out now. I'm noticing a little bit more of a shelf. There are minor changes, but when you're someone that's in the fine tuning phase of body recomp, it's really exciting, and it definitely is a difference that I notice and that I'm excited about. And as I haven't been on CJC for like 2 weeks now, and I haven't noticed any decline in strength. So I'm stoked about that progress. The negative side effects of the CJC 1295 is water retention, puffiness, and increased hunger. I personally did not experience any of this, but I was apprehensive about the CJC for these side effects. The word water retention and puffiness immediately is not something that's attractive to me or something that I want. I try to do everything to stay away from a puffy feeling. And so I was a little bit nervous about this, but I talked to the RN that I got my peptides from, Lisa. She's amazing. I'll link her site down below in her Instagram. And she told me, listen, we're starting you at a low dose. I don't think you're going to have any issues with water retention. Not a lot of my clients do, but if you do, we can always lower your dosage, or you don't have to do them anymore. And I was like, okay, that sounds like a good plan. And I made sure I drank a ton of water. Like I drink 100 ounces of water a day. I don't drink alcohol. I drink electrolytes religiously every morning. Like I feel like I have good habits to help eliminate water retention. So I felt good going into this peptide journey and starting with a growth hormone because I was already doing, X, Y, and Z. And I didn't experience anything. So I didn't experience any increased hunger that I noticed. I didn't experience puffiness or water retention. I had a really good experience on CJC, and I'm excited to do it again in the future. I did cycle off of it because you definitely don't want to stay on a growth hormone for too long. Cycling off of it keeps your receptors sensitive. If you stay on it too long, and if the stimulation becomes too constant, it can interfere with your normal rhythm, and it can reduce the effectiveness over time. Also, something to note with CJC, it is a growth hormone. Therefore, it does make things grow, like your muscle mass and all of that stuff. If you take too much of it, or you have something in your body like a tumor or something like that, it can grow that tumor. So that's just something to be aware of. I think it's good to, if you are someone who has had a history of tumors or has some type of history of where something would be concerning by taking a growth hormone, I think that's something to take into consideration and talk to your health practitioner about. But I just wanted to touch on that. But overall, I personally loved my experience on CJC. Okay, let's move on to BPC 157. I started BPC 157 and CJC together. I started with 5 units of BPC, 5 days on, 2 days off for the first 6 weeks. Then at the 6-week mark, I moved up to 10 units, 5 days on, 2 days off. BPC 157 is the body protective compound peptide. So it helps with tissue regeneration, accelerated healing when it comes to muscles, tendons, ligaments. It's an anti-inflammatory. It can also help with gut health. This is one that I would almost recommend to pretty much anyone unless you're pregnant or breastfeeding. I just want to also preface, I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you guys my experience from doing peptides. So if you have any questions, make sure to consult, a registered nurse or a doctor first with any questions. But like I said, this is just based off my experience. BPC 157 is amazing though, and it really helps with muscle recovery. When you are working out regularly, you are making tiny little tears in your muscles. Although these aren't injuries that are like debilitating or super noticeable, you are making micro tiny injuries. So it's really nice to be able to take a peptide that helps heal that and accelerate the healing faster. So you're not sore, you feel better in your workouts, you have less puffiness, less inflammation, and all of that stuff. I've also heard too, I haven't done this specifically, but you can like spot treat BPC 157 in different parts of your body based on levels of soreness. So for example, if you like did a workout and your quads are super sore, you can inject the BPC in your quads to help with the soreness there. So I finished up, well, I'm still doing BPC 157, but like I said, I finished up CJC and I'm now moving on to a new peptide stack, which is the Glow Blend and then MOTS C. So the Glow Blend involves 3 different peptides. This is like the skin rejuvenation peptide stack. This is for the girls, okay? If you're a girl listening, I mean, a guy too, a guy can do this too, but I am someone where I am all about aging gracefully, but also with the help of my injector and peptides. Like I want to do the anti-aging things. It's not like I'm necessarily looking forward to having wrinkles and fine lines. Like, although I will embrace them as I continue to get older, I'm also going to try to prevent them. Okay. I kind of just contradicted myself, but you get what I'm saying. So the Glow Blend is BPC 157, which is the one that I have loved and am continuing to do. I'm doing 10 units of that, 5 days on, 2 days off. And then TB 500. This one is kind of like the BPC 157 sister. It's good for tissue repair. It's an anti-inflammatory. It also helps with energy. And it's good to take if you have an injury or trauma to the body. So if you have like an injury in terms of, I don't know, any injury in the body, you can take TB500 to help accelerate the healing process. This one also helps with enhanced angiogenesis, it's the peptide that promotes the formation of new blood vessels, which improves blood flow and oxygen to any damaged tissue. Kind of just going back to what I said about helping an injury or trauma to the body. The third part of the Glow Blend is copper, which is GHK-Cu. This is the miracle anti-aging one. This peptide stimulates collagen and elastin. It reduces wrinkles, improves skin firmness, reduces sun damage, hyperpigmentation. Quick little side note, that is something I heavily deal with in my 29th year because I didn't wear sunscreen in my early 20s. So I said this on a different episode. If you are listening to this, please wear sunscreen. If I could just go back and wear sunscreen, I would. It would really have helped what I'm dealing with now, or I wouldn't even be dealing with what I'm dealing with now if I wore sunscreen back in the day. I used to fry my face in the sun, and now I have severe melasma and hyperpigmentation because of that. So if you are 21, 20, 24 listening to this, wear sunscreen on your face every single day. Okay, next benefit of the GHK-Cu is it's an anti-inflammatory. It minimizes scarring, stimulates hair follicles. It can stimulate hair growth. It has nervous system support. It's amazing. So I just started the Glow Blend maybe a week and a half ago. So I don't have, I'll update you guys at the end of the cycle, but I'm really excited about this blend and to see the difference in my skin, hopefully with like the hyperpigmentation, the elasticity, like the overall kind of glow of my skin. I have kind of dull skin in general. I mean, I've talked about acne a bajillion times on here, but it's just like something I obviously struggle with. And I feel like I have a lot of like that melasma and hyperpigmentation. So when I don't have makeup on, it is pretty patchy and I kind of have a grayish hue to my skin. I also do not put my face in the sun anymore, so my body is very tan, but my face is not. So I'm excited to see what the Glow Blend can do for a girl like me, and I will keep you guys in the loop. That's my current peptide stack for the Glow Blend, and then I'm doing Motzi, and I am so excited about this one, you guys. This is a mitochondrial derived peptide. It has 16 amino acid peptides, and this one I take in the morning. So the Glow Blend I take at night, and then the Motzi I take in the morning. I'm actually starting off with 10 units in the morning, 5 days on, 2 days off. I'm kind of just going right into this one because I have experience with peptides now. My body is kind of like used to them. I just wanted to get right into this one with the higher dosage. This one helps with improved insulin sensitivity, so better glucose control. It supports body recomposition. It helps with energy regulation, stress adaptation. It also has protective effects with anti-aging. It helps with cellular repair, reduces inflammation, and you can have better endurance and exercise performance in your workouts. Like, who wouldn't want all of those? I am stoked about this one, and I'm really hoping to see some major benefits from taking it. And I'll obviously keep you guys in the loop. I just started taking this one not even a week ago. So my new peptide stack, I'm like newly starting it. Like I said, I'll give you an update as I feel different things or maybe notice differences. But that's my current stack. So I'm now going to get into a little mini Q&A about like I said, I gathered some frequently asked questions from that Instagram poll, and I'm going to go through and answer them. Do you inject them, and where do you do it? Yes, I inject the peptides every night, and I used to do it in my lower stomach, but I noticed a lot of bruising in that area. I just have less fat on my lower stomach. I have more fat in my ass, and that's where I inject them now. A little more cushion for the push-in for the needle, if you know what I'm saying. So I do it in that area, and I don't have any issues. Also, it hurts way less. I think in my lower stomach, I would feel more of a sting, but when I do it in my butt, I don't feel anything. It's like easy. Wow, that did not sound right. I'll keep that in there. But when I inject in my glute area, I don't notice any pain. There's no sting. It really is just, it doesn't hurt at all. So I wouldn't be scared of that. It's really not painful at all, and you get used to it, and now it's just part of my routine. Next question is, does it hurt or feel weird after you inject? So in the beginning, like I said, it doesn't hurt, but you do have kind of a weird sensation after you inject, or I could say this can vary based on the person. Based on my experience, you do have a flushed feeling, like my face would get hot and tingly. You kind of feel a little bit lightheaded. It's nothing to be concerned about, but it is a little bit jarring at first after the first couple times. But that's why Lisa started me on a lower dosage. Like I started at that 5 units. And so it wasn't anything like traumatizing or scary. It just was like a little bit, oh, okay, I'm feeling a flushed feeling, a little lightheadedness. And now I really don't feel it at all. I feel like maybe like a tiny bit of like a hot flush in my face every once in a while. But I think my body's just kind of used to it, and I don't give it much thought or attention. But if you do feel those feelings after injecting for the first couple times or the first couple weeks, it is normal, and you can always consult the person you get your peptides from, but I wouldn't worry about it. And next question, where do I get my peptides from? So I see Hydration by Lisa in Newport. She is amazing. She's a registered nurse. It's really important to make sure you're getting your peptides from a credible source. You can get them online. You can get them from some sketchy places. So please make sure you are smart when inquiring where you get your peptides from. Do your research. Make sure it's a credible source. I highly recommend Hydration by Lisa. I will link her Instagram and her website down below. She does do online consults, and she ships. So you don't need to be in Orange County to be able to receive your peptides from her. I've had an incredible experience with her, and I really recommend her. Has peptides helped with your hypothyroidism? Yes, you guys, I'm so excited because I got blood work done. How long ago now? Like maybe 3 weeks ago. And my thyroid for the first time is in the normal range. I talked about this, I think, on last week's episode, but it's at the lower end of the spectrum in the normal range, but it's in the normal range. So I am stoked. And the only thing that I've changed is I've taken peptides. So specific peptides can enhance thyroid function and promote the regeneration of damaged tissues. This can improve thyroid hormone production and alleviate symptoms with the fatigue, the weight and mood fluctuations that you can sometimes experience with hypothyroidism. So I am feeling really good. My energy has been really good, and I'm not taking my hypothyroid medication anymore. So I'm not taking it. I don't want to be on it for forever. I don't want to use that as a band-aid. I was obviously using it as a tool to get my thyroid back to a normal function. And now that it is in the green, I'm taking a break from it. I'm going to continue doing my peptides, continue taking supplements, and all the things I do for hypothyroidism. But I'm stoked that it's in the normal range, and I'm stoked that my energy feels better and everything is kind of in alignment. I can do a whole episode on hypothyroidism. I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in. If you have hypothyroidism, I'm sure you kind of want to hear what I've done and how I found out I had it. But let me know in the comments or DM me if it's an episode you guys would want. What are the best peptides for energy? So there are certain peptide stacks that are directly for energy. If your main goal is sustained energy, not just workout energy, there are a few different combos that can help with that. MOTS-C and 5-amino-1MQ is good for a mitochondrial boost and can help kind of sustained energy and workout performance. The CJC 1295 and the BPC 157 is also good for energy and hormone synergy. I think that stack really helped my thyroid. And then the last kind of the last peptide stack for energy, BPC 157 and MOTS-C, is good for adrenal fatigue and burnout recovery. So those are some stacks you can do if you're really just looking for energy. Once again, I would talk to your trusted peptide source and get their opinion. That's what Lisa has told me, and she's really educated me so much on peptides, and she's just been such a huge help, and she's so knowledgeable. So that is why I recommend her. How do you figure out dosing instructions when it comes to peptides? Like I said, I've said this multiple times in the past couple of minutes, talk to this trusted source you get your peptides from. But for me personally, the 5 units was good to start out with. I think I wanted to ease my body into them. And then once they felt good at 10 units, I was doing that consistently. And because I had such a good experience on being on 10 units of CJC, I wasn't scared to start the MOTS-C with a full 10 units, 5 days on, 2 days off. So that is the peptide update. If you guys have any more questions, you can always drop them down below, but I highly recommend Lisa. Like I said, I'll link her stuff down below, and I'm really excited to continue on my peptide journey and try different stacks. I'll be super transparent about all the peptides I'm taking, obviously. And if you have any questions about any of the ones that I just talked about, you can always DM me or drop a comment down below. I wanted to wrap up this episode with my new goals. I am obsessed with goals. I'm a goal-oriented person. I just think goals are fun. I get a little dopamine hit when I achieve a goal. And I think it's always good to have, micro goals and macro goals in every area of your life. And I kind of break mine down into physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual. So when November 1st hit, I was, thinking and reflecting, and I was trying to figure out what I want in life and what goals are going to get me there. Okay. So for physical, my goals are to hit my macros spot on routine days. I have been in a little bit more of an intuitive phase with tracking macros with just the time of life I'm in. And also, I have tracked macros for a long time. I think there's seasons where you can be super strict with it, and then seasons where it's more intuitive. And I think that's really healthy. And that's balancing, tracking macros with an intuitive approach. And leading into the holidays, I have about 3 weeks of routine before Thanksgiving week. So I'm dialing it in. I am staying disciplined. I want to make the healthy decision 9 times out of 10. And I think it's, discipline is a superpower. So I'm excited to really hit my macros spot on, especially my protein. Also, I didn't talk about this, but circling back to peptides really quick, you need to be working out for the growth hormone peptides to really work and see a difference and to amplify them. So I think it's important to make sure you're hitting your protein and strength training 5 days a week to be on CJC 1295 or the MOTS-C. Peptides are expensive, and to really make them worth it and get your money's worth, I think you should be really dialed with your other habits of life, like your diet, your workout routine, all of that stuff. So I want to hit my macros spot on my routine days, and I really want to increase my upper body strength and build my glutes more. I have noticed a positive difference in like my upper body area, but like I want more. I want a little bit more definition and I want a little bit more strength. And so I'm really going to try to focus on that. And then also I want to build my glutes. I'm currently doing my curves and core workout program, which it's out. It's a 4-week program, dumbbell bands only, and there's 3 glute days. So I am training glutes a lot. And I will say, I have noticed a difference. Like I really do feel like for the first time in a long time, I'm seeing more glute definition. I'm seeing more of a pump, like I said earlier, when I work out my glutes, and I'm noticing more definition in the side of my glute as well, like kind of that indentation. So progress is addicting, and I'm excited to continue on and see more results in the gym from hitting my macros spot on and putting in the work, like I said, in the gym. And with my macro split I can't speak. With my macro split right now, I talked about it in my previous episode, but I'm kind of just in a maintenance mode right now and really focusing on protein. And if you want to know my macro split, I talked about it in my recent episode, the one before this. Okay. Actually, it'll be like 2 episodes before this, but I did put in the description of that episode what my macro split is. Moving into mental and emotional goals. I go to weekly therapy, and it is such a positive part of my week. Although therapy is hard sometimes, actually a lot of the time, it has changed my life, and I will stand by that. I think you need to be action oriented in therapy for it to work. And I think you need to go to a therapist that you align with, that you trust. If you are in the market for a therapist or you're interested in therapy, I would encourage you to go to someone that you get a recommendation from, and also go to someone that like lives a life that you want. Like my therapist has 4 kids, he's married. I don't know a ton about his life, but I do know that he is like a practitioner of what he preaches in a way, and that's really important to me. I've been seeing my therapist for like 2.5 years now, weekly, and it's just been an absolute game changer for the trajectory of my life, my mental health, and a lot of other areas. So my mental and emotional goals are, I really want to work on some of my internal values. So every morning I'm writing down 2 internal values that I feel that I genuinely possess, and then 1 internal value that I'm really trying to work on. And then I want to exercise them in some way throughout the day. So for example, we're going to take yesterday's, okay? Yesterday morning, I wrote down, I feel that I am a genuine person and I feel that I am service oriented. I am not patient. So that's the one that I'm working on, is patience. So those are the 3 that I wrote down in the morning. And then throughout the day, I found areas to like exercise them. For the genuine one, I was making returns at the Irvine Spectrum, and the girl that was helping me with my return, she was absolutely stunning, and she had the prettiest hair, the prettiest eyes. So I gave her a genuine compliment, complimented her eyes and just how pretty she was. And it was a very organic, well thought out, or like well-intentioned compliment. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm checking a box of being genuine. Like, no, I really was admiring her beauty, and I wanted her to know that she was really beautiful. The next one is service oriented. This one, I got a bunch of gift cards from the grocery store to like hand out to homeless people. I love having, obviously, like if I had like, I don't really carry change on me, to be honest, or like, I don't really carry cash on me. And so when I'm at a stoplight and I see someone holding a sign, I can throw them a Chick-fil-A gift card or a Starbucks gift card. And I think that goes a long way. And I don't think, it's our place to judge someone who is homeless or who is, asking for money. Like, I think I always go back, this sounds kind of maybe cliche, or I don't know, if you're not religious, maybe interesting, but I think like, what would Jesus do? He would help the person in need. So I like having the gift cards because I can just like hand them out to someone at the stoplight if I see someone, or like Venmoing my long distance friend for coffee. Majority of my friends are like not in California, which sucks, but I keep in touch with them through voice memos and texts and stuff like that. So maybe I'll Venmo one of them for a coffee, or just like some small act of service like that goes a long way. So I did that yesterday, and then the one that I'm really struggling with is patience. I'm just not a patient person, you guys. I struggle with patience. I know a lot of people do, but I'm really trying to work on it. And yesterday I got caught in 27 minutes of traffic, and instead of reacting, I chose to slow down and just breathe. There's a breathing exercise that I have been doing, and it's like the inhale and exhale exercise. You inhale 4 seconds and exhale 6 seconds, and it just kind of brings you back to a more zen state, lowers the heart rate a little, and gets you out of that like frustrated feeling when you're in traffic and you just want to get to your destination. I also like try to switch the story in my head. So instead of saying, wow, this is taking effing forever, I am saying this is a part of the process. Maybe I'm stuck in traffic for a reason. Whenever I take a wrong turn or like get rerouted in some way and it feels like an inconvenience, I actually look at that as like God is rerouting me so something bad didn't happen. I don't know. That's just how I look at it. But if I miss an exit or I miss a turn, instead of being like really frustrated, I'm like, okay, maybe I had to miss that turn for a reason. Maybe if I didn't miss that turn, something bad would have happened to me, or I would have gotten in an accident or something like that. So try to switch the mindset with that. But patience is something I'm constantly working on. But working on my internal values in general really helps with confidence, and I just feel like it helps me as a person be a better person, be a better human, and that's important to me. I want to make sure I'm always progressing in like every area of my life. The last one is spiritual. And this one, I'm kind of continuing on what I have already been doing, which is praying every morning and listening to worship music in the morning. It really does set the tone for my day in such a different way than when I don't do it. I notice a significant difference in my stress and just in the way I go about my day. So I really encourage, starting your morning with prayer, listening to the worship music. I have a Spotify playlist I'll link down below. It's called Worship, and I've kind of acquired some of my favorite worship songs and made a playlist. So I listen to that for like 15 to 20 minutes as I'm getting ready. And then once I get in my car or once I get to the gym, I'll turn on my music or a podcast that I'm listening to or something, not in the spiritual realm. But I do think starting my day with God has changed like my life and really changes the trajectory of my day. So those are my updated goals. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions about anything, please drop them below or DM me. Let me know what other episodes you guys want to hear. I am thinking about doing my Accutane journey episode next week. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. But I hope you guys are having a great day. Happy Friday. My episodes release every Friday at 5 a.m. And I hope that it's a fun thing to listen to going into the weekend. And I'll see you guys next week.